About think tanks in Japan, we're a bit like a prototype of all the models you might find in Asia, because we have a rather rigid political culture. We've had basically a single party rule in spite of the fact that we're a democracy. Um, Discussing policy options in the public domain, where think tanks perform a very important role, really hasn't been in our political culture. We have research institutes which are affiliated to governments, but their role in they might facilitate discussions but not necessarily perform the role of think tanks. Coming up with alternative policy options can only happen, I think, when you have a government system where you have a change of power. So you have different political parties and with different stakeholders and different interests. Japan tended to have a very singular model of, say, concentrating just on economic development. So a lot of the policies are based on consensus, sometimes behind closed doors, and only involving some of the main, say, big businesses, so on and so forth. So it's still, I could say that it's not a lost cause, because we do have new think tanks, many of them which are sort of more advocacy groups. But if you are looking at the American model, then I have to say perhaps Japan isn't an exception, but even Japan doesn't have a very flourishing think tank culture.